back.
Yay!
I also just remember we just had that long scene of both exposition and/or philosophy, and now we're just at a crime scene. So I'm sure this is only going to get easier.
Oh, clearly.
For a second, I was worrying about my screen, then I realized the CRT effect is by design,
Mm.
or at least the waves. Oh, I had to press a button. Okay, thank you, game.
Nah, just gonna leave you hanging there forever.
Detective London. We're definitely not alone down here. But when you reassured your partner that we'd have company, I didn't think you were including the Blue Bloods.
You know, I knew I'd forgotten to mention.
What? Oh, this. I
I
do a voice for this guy. Oh.
Oh no, it's I think this was one of the ones I called dibs on.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? Well, she's a liar, babe. Because I never said that. No, I never said that. Oh, come on, babe. That's what she's like. She lies for fun. Because that's what I call you, babe. It's a pet name. You like it. No, don't hang up. Don't hang up, baby. Don't hang up. Of course I do.
We gotta get to work, hon.
I'll have to call you back, babe. Something just came up.
They're just standing there listening to the whole conversation.
Oh yeah, it's like part of me wants to believe inside Morgan's head she's just taking notes. Like, so this is how you properly gaslight. Got it. London, what is this?
It's a woman. London, who is this?
Counselor Morgan, this is Adelaide Hahn. She's a blue blood.
Hey, I'm a perfectly legitimate career woman. You're speaking to a Cyanus security site manager. If you need anything, miss, please don't hesitate to reach out.
A real business card? It's even watermarked. Yeah, no, I was more surprised you did hyperfixate more on that for a second.
Well, you can inspect it.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's what we got from last time. Oh, we got full markup on him before we even met him. Do. Let's see here. Evidence. On card, there it is.
Ooh, got her phone number.
I'm sure Morgan will cherish it. I'm not familiar with Cyanus.
We're a private security and investigating firm. We provide bouncers, armed escorts, we catch cheating partners, find runaway debtors, run paternity tests, that kind of stuff. Sorry, but have we met somewhere? No, it can't be. I'd never forget a beauty like you.
She's the Hound's lawyer, hon.
Seriously? She works for those copper-headed scumbags? So we're mortal enemies. That sucks. Another life then, eh? But I'll still play nice if you will.
Right.
And we got a profile.
Okay, now let's check her. Oh, wait, the wrong one. Site manager. New furniture. So close. Oh, okay.
Dislikes clingy types, jealous types, and needles.
How often do you have dead flowers that you have to throw them out constantly?
Well,
Uh,
do you not see the persona she's giving off right now?
I get the
You know?
distinctive feeling this is a person who has multiple partners, but they may or may not be aware of each other.
Yeah, those aren't flowers. Those aren't flowers she grows. Also, funny tidbit: one of her likes was new furniture, but in the last game, one of Morgan's likes was old furniture.
Ah, fair. So, you're private security and you're currently securing this crime scene.
Yeah, what's with the tone?
What you're hearing is a genuine bewilderment. London, why are the police letting Bluebloods contaminate the crime scene where a cop died?
Come on, we don't have cooties.
Look, if this wasn't the location where a cop died, we'd have turned full control over. I can talk.
What?
The police contract out the security around crime scenes to private companies all the time. And around here, the private company best suited for the job happened to be Cyanus. Letting them conduct their own side investigations is a small concession to keep the peace.
A small concession. They're probably in there destroying evidence as we speak.
We have the arcs to preserve the crime scene. They could burn the building down and we'd still have a pristine copy.
London Bridges is trying to save face. The police couldn't keep this crime scene off limits without our help, and he knows it. Gremlins would be smashing their shiny cameras and popping their expensive tires round the clock if we weren't here. Lower ward kids take out drones by tossing shoes at them for fun.
Is that why you see these shoes hanging off the wires?
No, I don't know why that happens.
I do. It's just a thing teens have always done for fun. That is not true.
Do you want to elaborate?
Oh, it's especially around college sites. It is often used to signal where meetups are designated to happen for trades
Gotcha.
of the contraband type. Usually injectable, inhalant, you know.
Fair enough.
Mystery solved.
It truly is. Usually culturally, it is a way to indicate where you can distribute and or pick up.
Mm.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Maybe the cops and the Blue Bloods are all. Maybe the cops and the Blue Bloods are all consummate professionals. Yeesh, I've never seen that word spelt. Okay. Consummate professionals who never ever bicker. But what kind of impartiality can I expect coming here to defend Nikaria?
Well, you might get some ugly looks from those with less chivalry, but no one's gonna get in your way. We know how defense attorneys operate. We know damn well how you usually win. No one's gonna do anything that'll let you worm the hound out of his life sentence on a technicality.
You sure you wouldn't prefer that? To have him back out on the street so you can take another shot at him?
Oh, so flattery. That's how you flirt?
What does that mean?
Do you think we'd ever manage to gun down the Hound of Arcadia in the street? Shank him in a holding cell?
Blue Bloods took him alive just fine the other day, didn't they?
Yeah, and look what happened to them afterwards.
So you won't tamper with the crime scene just because you want to make sure the state lobotomizes Sousuke for quintuple homicide.
Yeah. I mean, we also literally get paid good money to do these kinds of jobs, so we have a reputation to maintain. Rate us 5 stars when you're done looking around, okay?
I'll be sure to leave a glowing review. So this is the main entrance? Front door looks about as heavy as I remember, but it's unlocked.
What's that?
How was this door found?
Chopin and Rogers were first officers on the scene, responding to gunfire.
Somebody heard that? Good thing I cleaned up fast.
Checked the area, then entered through the front door.
Door was definitely locked when I arrived. But I didn't lock it behind me when I left. I didn't have any keys.
Admiring our handiwork? This is Cyanus installation.
Who else would Blue Bloods trust to secure Blue Blood buildings? How's it lock?
You never used a key before?
I want to know how the lock functions. Does it lock behind you automatically?
That's a good question. You looking to buy? Because I could set you up.
It is a good question, Han. Why don't you answer it?
I love that Han's plan is basically, I'm not going to stop you from investigating, but I'm not going to contribute to you in any possible way. Yeah, this model locks behind you by default. You need a key to get in if someone doesn't unlock it for you from inside.
A physical key?
Physical keys can't be hacked. Or overridden by a police badge. Some people consider those useful features.
I would. Is that why the door's ajar? It looks like the lock's been destroyed.
No, it's a door, not a jar.
Was it found like this? And thank you, Zako. Also, hey, robot. I fucking love Alpha's, like, running at you. Fucking...
I just noticed that.
It's so good.
Yeah. Like, that and his most recent emote with the shield are just, oh, they kill me every time I see him.
Also, hello, L Robot. Hello, folks. Yeah, for as long as the arcs have been up. It definitely wasn't locked when me and Reyes arrived, which was around 10:20 p.m.
Hang on, you and Reyes, what, were you the second officers on the scene?
That's right. We weren't far when the 10-999 went out at 10:15.
A little cheat because I feel like that number is going to come up a lot. You can just say 1039.
Ah! Okay, thanks.
Because that's honestly how cops like say their codes too, because it gets too fucking long.
I did
That makes sense.
Mhm.
That makes sense.
Long way from Precinct 254, isn't it?
We were in the area.
Awkward. You want a tour then?
Actually, I'd like to check out the alley first.
You know, the crime scene's on the 3rd floor, right?
Yeah, but it has a window that opens to the alley, doesn't it? I just prefer to start from the bottom and work my way up sometimes.
Sure, we can start there. Just be careful where you step, if you like those boots and all. Investigation.
One problem with blue bloods and cops running security. I don't know who to blame for leaving their shit here. I'll give the moral high ground to whichever part of society learns to pick up after themselves first.
I do. Bombing ruled out in university fire. Computer labs at North Technician University were set ablaze at early hours in the morning, yada yada yada. The fire has officially been ruled an accident and successfully traced back to a cooling system failure in the basement's main server hub, a freak accident that has provided, yada yada yada. Fires and bombings recently reported as sweeping eastward across the nation, dubbed by some members of the press as the work of the Witch of the West. Each incident appears to have targeted data infrastructure, hitting state, corporate, and academic nerve centers and leaving behind significant financial grief in the aftermath. Hundreds of thousands of files related to student debt, all of it non-recoverable. Oh gee, what a waste. Federal investigators no formal comments at this time. Federal agents frustrated with the so-called witch. Formally calling for the Director of Investigations to testify as to the progress or lack thereof in the search for this serial arsonist and other notable. Hey, we don't seem to have your ID in the database, frowny face. If you fill out a simple form for us, we can get the rest of this article, along with a ton of other cool offers and limited time sales served up exclusively to a compliment ID 09, like you.
I feel like I've heard stories about bombings out west the last few months. But I didn't know they'd all been attributed to one person, or that they're now calling them the Witch of the West. There's no mention of victims, only data centers being targeted. But clearly this witch is hitting someone where it hurts, if they've now got...
Feds involved.
Definitely the feds, yeah. What really stands out is that the federal investigators are getting involved. Most national security agencies were absorbed into the military police complex decades ago.
Goody.
That bureau... Oh yeah, love that. That bureau survived, but it's a mere fraction of the size it used to be, and very different in its function.
They have an X-Files department, but now they just shoot the aliens.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty much.
Oh, I'm just imagining the, like, dystopian future fucking Mulder.
Oh, he would be absolutely an alcoholic.
So depressed. Every day I meet a new wonder in the world, then I gun it down.
Dibs on that story idea.
Go right ahead, just credit me. Their modern reputation is that of attack dogs deployed by the Senate to make examples of political targets. I can't say I like the idea of them being out there hunting for serial offenders. Oh
Also,
yeah,
I will
serial
say-
offender. Go ahead.
I will say also, we've now got the Red Rider Hood, the Hound, and now we have a Witch of the West.
Getting real Aesop up in this bitch.
I was thinking Oz, but sure.
I was also thinking Oz.
Sorry, I hear riding hood, and that's where I think immediately.
Oh no, you got that part right with the Red Riding Hood and the Wolf, but now we've got Oz involved.
Yeah.
Question is, who's Grandma and who's the wizard?
You know?
I don't. Well, from what we've learned so far, I want to believe Daisuke is the wizard, because he's still basically running the family despite being no longer his position, if I remember right.
Yeah, he's basically head of the family, like the Yakuza top boss at the moment, but he looks like he's gearing up to eventually retire, maybe.
It was much darker last night than it is now, and I only took a quick peek. But even so, this...
Looks like it's been moved, huh?
Oh yeah, like you see the mold outline there.
Also, Arcleon in chat. Fairy tale code names? Sounds grim.
What is this, Ruby?
Ha!
Please don't, I don't want to get cancelled.
For what?
No, I was making a joke about it being cancelled.
Oh. Hey, Viz might
Yeah.
bring it back. They've been selling the DVDs.
Fair. Yes. Was trash picked up last night, perhaps?
Checking the model number on the side. Looks like dumpsters of this make haven't been picked up by the city in a decade.
Oof.
I didn't realize there was DRM on trash cans, which is what I was going to comment on. Thank you, Morgan.
There's DRM on everything, man.
Hey, it's a heavy model, tough to lift, even if its wheels weren't broken. And designed for containing industrial waste, how it ended up here in a residential district is...
Isn't that hard to puzzle out, is it? It was cheaper for the Megs to dump their shit on us than it is to haul to a landfill.
Is that why I can see markings on the ground there? From leaks?
Oh, you really are a tourist, aren't you?
I've been in the lower wards before.
But only at night, right? Rain's dirty down here, stains the ground whenever it falls. Ugh.
Acid rain, like in the history books?
Not quite that bad, just smog combined with precipitation combined with the charms of the city to make...
Dirty rain, like I said. Lower Ward spring water. There's a shot named after it. Tequila and pickle juice. Ugh.
So is the dumpster empty?
Let's see.
Hey, grab a glove if you're gonna...
Yeah, it's mostly empty, except for a bunch of scrap metal at the bottom. Explains why I can't get it to budge.
Careful, if you get your toe trapped under there, don't look at me to help you just cause I'm modded.
Are you saying you couldn't budget either?
I could if a girl was cheering me on.
Okay, London, thanks. Don't know what I was expecting to find, really.
Now just watch it so you don't... Yep. Been there. Let the lid slam.
Sorry.
This fire escape would lead right up to the crime scene. Assuming it doesn't come crashing down once you step on it.
It's missing the ladder that would connect it to the street level. You're violating fire code with a tetanus trap, Han.
Building inspection's not my department. Besides, who'd want to climb up a burning building?
Firefighters.
You're funny, Bridges. Even a copper firefighter wouldn't risk getting singed to save a lower ward's property from burning down.
An ad could probably make the jump up there.
Ads are heavy. If an android leaped onto that, the whole mess would probably come down on top of them.
Yeah, modders are heavy too.
Hey!
Looks like the only way into the building is through the front door then. Alright, I'm done back here. So I think I've seen everything I... That's right. I was standing here last night when... I totally forgot about this guy. It was dark and foggy. The kid was too far off to make out my face. Weren't they?
What is it, Tiger?
Nothing. Thought I saw someone out the corner of my eye. That's all.
Yeah? Around here, maybe it wasn't enlisted.
What do you... Those are real?
Keep to themselves, obviously, but yeah, they're real. I've met some. They inform. Sometimes on what they've seen. Never come in to testify, of course. You'd think they'd stand out dressing like that, but if their camouflage didn't work, they wouldn't be unlisted, right?
What do you mean they keep to themselves? Don't they work with any of the gangs down here?
Sorry, have I gotten your hopes up or something? Trust me, you've got a better chance of winning the lottery than running into one.
Right. Forget I asked. You ready to go inside?
I think so. So long as...
No, I'm not with anyone else. It's just me here. Because she's shrill, princess. And delusional. You know that.
I'm sure she'll catch up. Though right now I want to check out Unlisted because I want to find out specifically what they're unlisted from. Okay, so it's not here, so it'll be in the other terms.
Sorry, what were you looking for?
Unlisted.
So, I don't think that comes up, but from what I can tell by the context clues, it's basically a person who somehow got off the grid.
Yeah, that's what I
Because
figured.
like because of how like fucking cataloged and DRM'd everything is here.
Yeah, I just saw that we got one of the purple words for them, and so I thought we might have gotten actually something in here, but I think it's probably buried or not relevant yet. So you were saying this used to be an apartment building.
Somewhere between that and a long-stay motel, yeah? Blue Bloods didn't deviate far from that model when they took over. They call rooms like these vaults, places to stash away a lover, witness, debtor. There's too much heat.
You've gone through all these vaults, I take it.
Cyanus helped us with that last night, yeah. Bringing around master keys, clearing out every possible hiding place.
Didn't find a red-handed killer hiding anywhere, did you?
Sorry, no.
So this is the Blue Bloods' forte, then? Securing people, places, and things?
You could think of it that way.
Guess I always assumed gangs made their money through drugs.
Well, the Blue Bloods do deal here and there. But narcotics has been a rich man's game ever since the CDCA rolled in. If you have the funds to hide the gray wave the way how Sicaria does, you can make a killing. They've got the market cornered from black to gray to white to pure green profit. The Blue Bloods hate that they have to make do with all the scraps the Megs in the house don't bother producing in mass.
Professional jealousy? How ugly. Why can't these underworld overlords just bury the hatchet, get together, and screw over the consumer like reasonable people do?
Stares into the camera.
Yeah.
They've tried, if you believe the rumors.
Sometimes I love when this game can get so cynical we can actually laugh.
About a year ago now, there was some kind of meeting, an olive branch from the golds to the blues. Apparently, the Blue Bloods had a product that the Ikaria wanted to distribute.
Also, hey, Bubba, welcome back. The
Hello.
Ikaria sell legal drugs now, though? And what kind of product could the Blue Bloods have that the Ikaria couldn't manufacture?
Not sure. Maybe that's why it went south so fast. Blood was spilled in less than an hour. The Ikaria aren't the type to keep negotiating after being spat on like that.
And so the Blue Bloods remain firmly planted in their lower wards niche.
They might not like having to take the low end, but they're filling a gap in the market. And that's every proper capitalist calling, right? Besides, the workers certainly appreciate their protection down here.
Workers hire Blue Bloods for protection, but that's... all that stuff is legal, so long as they're licensed, isn't it?
Legal? Yes. Respectable? Most would still say no. No, so household name security megs consider it too high risk to be seen in the company of workers. Doesn't help that their average board member is easily pushing 60 years old.
You aren't that far from pushing 60 yourself, are you?
Jesus.
Matter of opinion. Besides, I'm a very modern, forward-thinking man.
Did you finish those 50s rosaries already? Oh, I remember. Oh, yeah. Right. And the Ikaria, they don't, compete in that market.
No. People at the Ikaria Heights might patronize a courtesan or two,
I did that
but they
thing.
never lower themselves to work alongside one.
Also, thank you for giving a sub to Bubba Zako.
Figured that'd be a $5 you'd actually get.
Hypocrites.
That much I understand perfectly. The hypocrisy is the appeal for them. The rules don't apply to me. You couldn't ask for a more pure expression of power.
Damn. Worse than I remember. Like a demon tore through the place. Seriously. What the hell happened here?
That's what we all get paid to find out, right?
Yeah.
I definitely got a head start on the rest of you, though. Shall we bring up the ox?
Sure, I'll patch you in.
Allow me.
If you're needed on the phone, Miss Han, please don't let me keep you here.
Nonsense. I've got all the time in the world for you.
Everyone's treating me like royalty today.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Where shall we start?
How about with the tall, dark, and mysterious in the middle here?
That's your client. He was found standing over over Chopin's body by the arresting officer.
Rogers, right? And then he knocks Sousuke out.
Correct.
So why's it this artistic rendition of Sousuke and not a capture from Roger's body cam?
Well, it seems like at the time...
That body cam was off. Seriously?
Hey, I'd chew him out myself if he was here with us. It's department policy to have all sensors green when responding to an emergency.
Did all this not qualify as an emergency then?
Chopin and Rogers were responding to shots fired. That's not uncommon in this part of town. For two inexperienced officers first on the scene, it might not have come to mind. At least Chopin could use the excuse, rest in peace.
Also, I hate how you captured so well the rehearsedness of that first line before this.
Hmm?
Oh.
Which one?
The one where he basically just gives the department answer for why body cam should be on and when at all times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently Rogers requests replacement body cams nearly every week.
Okay, if he's that big of a klutz, take away his gun once the city's done throwing him a parade.
I'll, put in a request.
Right, who's next? Okay, see what all we have besides the bodies. Oh, that one gets blinding. Okay, assess. Friend. Okay, inspect TV. Pull. Alright. Start going in order. Blood loss from the neck. Even I can tell that much.
Stabbed with a bladed weapon right near the carotid artery. Oh, carotid. That's what that is. I've never seen that. I've never seen that actually spelt out. So I definitely just now did like the reader thing where you like you try pronouncing the word and then you realize, oh no, it's this word instead. Yeah. I don't know why my brain thought corroded, like it was spelt like the word corroded, not carotid.
To be fair, we're also dealing with multiple dialects in this game, to where it's also like, oh, wait a second, is that the French spelling or is that just like a hard English spelling?
Very efficient. Not the kind of kill someone could make without prior experience.
My client's a humble bodyguard.
Oh, sorry. Come on now. I know you've got a job to do, but you'll shame him if you don't let him take credit for this one. Miller was no joke in a fight. Take him out with one clean stab in the neck using his precious signature katana? The Hound must be itching to brag about it.
Okay, I'd just like to point out that how, like, physically quasi-possible that'd be, but also horribly inefficient to try to just stab someone in the neck and not leave an, like, exit wound with a katana. Like, at that point, you'd almost have to be, I want to say, like, 6'5" to be able to easily pull the blade back out without, like, dislocating your shoulder. That's knowing that Miller was on the shorter side. I'll defer to the medical examiner on this matter, thank you very much.
What do you mean? Sato said the same thing. Katana to the neck and not so many words.
Is Miller's blood even on the katana? Even if it is, why would a medical examiner assume the katana was used when my knife is a much better fit for... My knife. Where is it? Where? I gave Sousuke the knife before I left. It should have been found on him when he was arrested. It should be somewhere in the arcs.
You looking for something, Tiger?
If they haven't found a knife, and I ask about it anyway, that'd mean admitting that I know it's missing. If I tell them Sousuke mentioned a knife that only the killer would know about, I'd be ruining my case before we even enter the courtroom. Or worse, pointing the police in the direction of the killer's real origin. No, Was anything found on my client's person when he was arrested?
Besides a gun, a sword, and a bunch of blood that didn't belong to him? No. Not even any lint in his pockets. Why do you ask?
No reason. Sometimes you gotta shake the tree to see what falls out. Or so they say.
Oh. You were blindly guessing? I've been there.
Something must have happened to that knife. It could have just disappeared, not from a crime scene locked... It couldn't just disappear, not from a crime scene locked down like this. I'll need to find it, but I can't just go looking for it. Is this what it feels like to play with a handicap? I also just want her to be like, shake the tree, or so it says, considering we haven't seen a tree in 30 years.
Something bonsai.
Creek's fine wood desk. He seemed particular about it. Also, hi, Clary. Maybe in no small part because it Maybe in no small part because it has a priceless no mask hidden
I
inside
did that thing!
I assume you've been through this datapad here.
Sorry, I was responding to something Bubba said in chat. Give me like 2 seconds.
I see. Do.
Sorry.
You're good.
Okay, I've done the thing. I'll shut up. I'm sorry. Okay. Front to back. But we didn't find anything we didn't already know. Seems like Creek was smart enough to use it for payments and nothing else.
How do you manage that? Even gangsters need a spreadsheet.
Hence the paperwork you see scattered about.
They really did everything by hand.
PvP is what they call it over in the organized crime. Paper and pencil protocol. Helps the orcas keep their books off the books. Or at least in a format that's easier to destroy should push come to shove.
Did you run checks on this? Credit card that's jammed in here?
Not surprised you don't recognize it. There's a dark card.
Wow, tell me more. Wow, tell me more.
It's an untraceable wallet in the palm of your hand.
I would hope any wallet could fit in the palm of your hand, Detective. But you really can't find the owner. Can't trace any of this transactions.
Most we can tell is the data pad registered calls to dark card networks at around 9:40 p.m. but it's timed out.
What does that mean?
The transfer didn't go through. Either someone got cold feet or they forgot their password.
Happens to the best of us. By the way, why's this cloth been flagged?
Not sure. Forensics didn't find any blood on it.
Who flagged it?
Lady Rockford herself. Could be that she fat thumbed it.
Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing. This screen. I turned it on to distract Tanks long enough to grab his gun. And I remember choosing not to turn it back off. Interesting setup.
Powerful setup. Was blaring when we arrived. The sound system, I mean. One of the CS techs is a real audiophile. Said it broke her heart how loud they must have been blaring the speakers all the time. Wears it out, she says.
That's actually true. I wouldn't count on orcas to value the longevity of their tech purchases. Windows. Opened a fire escape to the alley below. There's a thin misting of blood across them. Got a good guess as to who it belongs to.
This is where we found Greek, leader of the pod. Ballistics tells us the shooter was standing in front of the desk.
Near where my client was found.
Your words, not mine. Nasty slug burst in his chest, blew blood back onto the windows behind him.
The open windows.
Hell of a spread.
Yes, it is. Did someone open these, or...
No, they were open when we secured the scene.
Any fingerprints?
Plenty on the handles there from creaking his pod.
That's where the handles are?
Something wrong?
Definitely, but how the hell could I explain why I know that? No. No, sorry, I guess I'm wondering about the keys around his neck in the arcs.
Oh, well, one was a master key, could unlock any other door in the building. The other key we eventually paired to a small safe in his desk. Empty, though.
Suppose that's all irrelevant, since he apparently died with the keys on his person.
Yeah, they caught my eye too, to be honest, but not every detective's instinct pans out.
So what was this guy?
Curious.
Only professionally. I don't care what he was before I killed him.
Criminal record dating as far back as it goes, sealed when he turned 18.
What makes you so sure he was a juvenile, what makes you so sure he has a juvenile record, then?
The more experience these guys get, the more time in between their arrests. Pattern I'm seeing, he was pretty damn experienced by the time he was of age.
You trying to compliment him?
I wasn't trying to insult him, Han.
Anything you'd like to add?
Nah, nothing I want to say in front of you two.
If you want to, say a few words. The detective and I could step.
Only words I have are for his killer. I'll deliver them in person, or not at all.
Fair enough. Do you have any... One second. Oh, I'm not dying. I'm not dying. I'm fine. Do you have any idea why someone might want to hurt this Creek fellow?
That's not funny. That dog you're defending.
It's a fair question, Han. Give it a fair consideration.
Besides the Acadia, the Rust, or our city's finest? No. Creek was charismatic and driven. Plus, he made us a lot of money. No true blue would want him gone. The bloodthirsty Acadia soldier he was interrogating, however, probably wasn't a huge fan.
What about family?
This is getting old fast.
Younger brother's listed as his next of kin.
Leave his brother out of this. Hell, leave me out of this. Rooting to a person like you're picking at sits.
Well, seems he's out of town anyway, taking summer lessons at How Mariner U.
That's a good school.
An expensive school. Younger brother has no listed occupation. Also, no priors, no juvenile record. Tad at his age, poor kid. Pills for that cost an arm and a leg. Creek must have been sending him.
Detective, did you just leak the confidential medical data of a non-suspect to a third party?
Hey, you don't have to report. How about I buy you an ice cream or something?
Bribery too? You're digging yourself pretty deep.
Is it still bribery if I'm the government official? The answer is
Yes!
Oh. Okay, London always wins back his points with me, so I'm gonna keep it that way. I'm happy.
I'd advise you to brace yourself before opening the autopsy photos for this one, Counselor.
Yes, this is sufficiently obfuscated. A lot to take in. The skull was crushed.
Yes, but the cause of death was blood loss from a laceration across the neck. He hit the floor and bled out in seconds. Everything else you're seeing there is post-mortem. Overkill.
Not the word I'd use for this kind of shit.
Oh, calm down. I didn't do it for the fun of it. In this specific instance. Okay, Morgan. Oh. Every time. This victim had modded eyes. Seems to me like someone just didn't want to take any chances.
Bullshit. No one in the lower wards would get optic mods with recording functionality. You wouldn't be welcome anywhere. That's a hell of an honor system. You're gonna claim the Hound of Acadia didn't know that was fundamental?
Well, it's more of if no one could literally trust anyone with recording eyes. So basically, just like if you wanted to have a job in a gang, you couldn't have those.
Nah, he bashed his brains in for the fun of it.
I also like that I've been seeing that it looks like Han's actual mods look very archaic and mostly just used for violence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very service level strength enhancement. I'm sure a law-abiding citizen like yourself let me reword that. I'm sure to a law-abiding citizen like yourself, we're all scum of the earth who deserve...
I'm pretty scummy myself, Han. I'm a lawyer.
Oh, you have no idea.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to play along with it because we can't say the quiet part out loud with Morgan until she does say it out loud.
Yeah, but also she is a lawyer.
Yeah, even here, defense attorney, remember?
Who the hell deserves shit like this?
Deserves? What does that have to do with anything? I take it this bat is what they I take it that this bat is what they did the deed.
I would like to kindly point out before I say my next line that this entire dialogue is just exemplary of why they say you shouldn't involve yourself with conflicts of interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand the whole point is like, oh yeah, like this is the thriller is that she is the murderer, but I'm literally thinking about this and I'm like, no. This is why in a court of law, in most situations, but especially in a court of law, you don't pick up cases that are a conflict of interest.
But then Morgan's kind of stuck at the point of like, if they find something that she can't get her hands on first, it's like, ah, shit.
Yeah. Matches the splinters found inside his wounds, if you had any doubts.
There's nothing here about Sousuke's fingerprints.
You think we could get anything but partials off of that? It's practically splinters.
Makes sense, I was the one who actually swung it down, and I was wearing gloves by then.
Whoever did this, they were damn enthusiastic. You know how hard they'd have to swing to crush a skull? To break the bat itself?
I can't imagine. There's some faint blood that's been smeared here. Did it belong to this victim?
And Sousuke. I wonder if maybe the bodies hadn't gotten moved around for some reason, but your client's legs and feet were soaked in others' blood when he was arrested. And he would have had to sneak up on Chopin in order to stab him in the back.
You think he slid his feet across the ground to avoid making noise? What is this, the first Metal Gear?
Does he say otherwise?
I'll let you keep guessing on that one. Oh, for a second there I thought we could also... Oh! What we got here? Paper scattered all over the desk. Suppose I'm partially to blame. I didn't exactly memorize his setup before I started searching for the mask. What's this?
What'd you find there? A note? Looks like Creek's handwriting from the other files I've seen.
Imacaria.
Looks like Ia. Actually.
He's dead, London. I was gonna let the spelling mistake slide.
That's character development for Morgan.
Right. Sorry, but it's gotta be Makoto, right?
Also fair, didn't think about that, but I also feel like Morgan doesn't want to be a pedant unless she can be a pedant to someone alive.
True.
You know Makoto. Oh, wait a second, I forgot. You know Lil Billy Danganronpa.
I know he's the Hikaria heir, apparent. From what I hear, he's an appropriately frightening young scion.
He's really quite something.
But why would his name be on Creek's desk?
He was Creek's real target the other day. Sousuke was some kind of consolation prize.
Pegging the Hound was a consolation prize. These punks had their sights set high.
Yeah. Like no one taught them not to stare at the sun. You know, that would have been metaphorical, but I don't think Tanks was that bright. I think someone actually had to warn him. The big one. He made a strange face when I shot him, and a loud slam where he hit the floor.
This one, real long rap sheet. With a short ending. Buck shot to the torso, died instantly. Flexware on his mods put his time of death at 9:44 p.m.
Killed by his own weapon.
Comes up a bit short of poetic justice, but it doesn't look like he was in any kind of struggle for it beforehand. But how'd someone manage to get it off his hand?
It wasn't any great feat, I assure you.
Tex identified it as a double barrel Mag US and...
Oh, there's the wizard.
How'd you know the gun was his?
He's still wearing the holster in the arcs. Was I mistaken?
No. About a week ago, Tanks here was stopped and frisked by a patrol unit. They found this gun on him.
They found this gun on him, and they just handed it over back to him.
He bought and paid for it above board.
So this gun isn't jailbroken. You have tag data from the murders?
No, we don't. Strange. According to the text, the gun is jailbroken.
What happened between last week and last night that he'd get the tag stripped off?
Something that made him think this piece would see action soon.
Okay. Oh! Through this door is where they were keeping Sousuke and where I let him off the leash. I'll leave that or after I finish in here. Okay! So now... the blinding light! Who the hell are you, really? Why are you lying there dead right in the middle of my crime scene?
That was Tark Chopin, as you might guess, a patrol officer and the son of two loving fathers.
It's Tariq.
Oh, whoops.
All good.
Yeah.
He's got a weird-ass name.
We'll say that's in character. He probably would mispronounce it anyway.
Yeah.
He strongly emphasized to the chief of police their desire to see justice done.
Reyes wasn't exaggerating about how he died.
Run through the behind with a sword.
So he would have been standing in front of the desk, then he was impaled. Then he collapsed to the floor face first, and the sword...
got stuck in the ground.
Bad luck for the attacker, I suppose.
Yeah, Dr. Sato's noted in her report that the stab wound was, in her words, jostled.
Pardon?
Like the attacker tried to pull it out, but it was stuck. So they...
Had to jiggle it around.
Hey, it's probably what saved Roger's life. Kept your client distracted and disarmed long enough to give Rogers time to rush in.
Allegedly. Not where I left you, that's for sure. And according to Sousuke, the one thing he does recall after I pass the baton to him is gripping his sword. You're not giving me much to work with.
Fingerprints on the grip match your client's hand, by the way. Oh, right hand.
Here I was getting my hopes up.
And it definitely wasn't suicide, because no one else's prints are on the damn thing.
Were you expecting them to do like a fucking case closed murder here?
I mean...
Essentially, because from what Han was saying earlier, is like, oh, I know how you're probably going to get this off on a technicality, so let me go ahead and cut off your possibilities there.
Fair. Though I'd love to find what technicality you could get off on for Man stabbed through the sword with katana that only went about, if it's stuck in the floor, then a foot into him.
Yeah.
I ruled out suicide once I saw he was stabbed in the back, thank you.
Actually, I watched a not to spoil one of the movies, but there is a mystery murder movie I watched where someone did achieve that, and it was actually quite impressive.
Self-impaled.
From the back, even.
There are papers scattered underneath his body. Did I knock them off the desk at some point? Maybe when the tall one hit the ground. Maybe when I was swinging the bat down on... Hang on. What kind of paper is this? I can't read a word.
Really? You should get that looked at.
My vision's 2020. What I am looking at, Miss Site Manager.
Those docs are internal business, ma'am. Nothing to worry your pretty little head over.
How do you know there's internal business if we can't read them?
You've really never seen red ink before?
Never heard of it.
It's a corporate information security protocol.
Also something they use in the publishing world.
Files with special flags trigger specific print commands if you try to make physical copies. Makes it use some kind of special ink. Try to take a photo of it and it comes out a bright blur.
They do something similar, like I said, in the publishing industry, where they do that same kind of ink, but they also print it on red paper, so you can't actually leak early release copies or editor's copies.
Oh.
Or at least that was the thing in the 2000s. I'm not sure if they still do it.
And I couldn't tell you.
Paper special too. Too much heat, humidity, becomes illegible.
A corpse bleeding out on top of you is a lot of heat and humidity. So these documents contain confidential data that the Blue Bloods wouldn't want getting out.
What do they say in the movies? I can't confirm nor deny that.
And if I subpoenaed that data?
Do your worst. We've got lawyers too. And unlike your client, they've got all the time in the world to stall. Besides, you and I both know exactly what the Hound's motive was. And it isn't written in those pages. It's written all over his busted up face.
Sure. But you wouldn't mind if I copy down whatever I can anyway, right?
I wouldn't have any legal reason to stop you, if that's what you're getting at.
Okay. Looks like that's everything in here. Well, I don't envy either of your workloads. It's a mess in here.
It's a lot of blood, that's for sure.
I'm impressed you haven't gotten nauseous, miss.
I'd be right at home here if you weren't poking your nose around.
Shoot, I just remembered. I'll never hear the end of it if I don't check in with my partner after saying I would. You two good to keep going if I step out to make a call?
Oh, is your partner your mom? Is your mom blind? Send a text.
Thanks for your understanding.
Oh, right, because Reyes is still, like, adjusting to her stupid eye so she can't text for shit.
Yep, she can't.
Maybe
So
he
to
was
answer
the
your
one.
question, if she's blind, yes. The answer to that is yes, she is.
Maybe he was the one with the weak stomach. You be sure to let me know if you're feeling faint.
I can keep going. We're nearly finished anyway.
I'd stick it at Arcs if I were you. Nothing behind that door is better than seen in person.
You've been such a gracious You've been such a gracious host up until this point, Miss Han. Why the cold feet now?
It's ugly in there.
Uglier than this?
Different kind of ugly, then.
It's all in the eye of the beholder.
I warned you.
Don't worry, I can stomach it just fine.
This is
So
just your
long as I-
average highway rest stop bathroom.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So long as I can understand it. Why did Creek's pod torture my client?
I don't know what they did.
Sousuke told me they electrocuted Han.
They probably just grounded him. Low-grade currents applied every few minutes stops most mods from rebooting. Ugh! So no SOS pings, no adrenaline burst pulled out of his ass.
And the pliers, hammers, and syringes, what purpose did they serve? They could have just killed Sousuke when they failed to nab Makoto. Instead, they dragged him down here. Why? To try and get information... To try to get info on Makoto's itinerary? Get enough intel to make another run at him? If there are any answers for me in here, I'll need Grout Scraper to find them. There's a word you don't see often as well, grout.
Bucket.
It's what? Wasn't ready for that one. It's water, cold enough that condensation's on the outside of the bucket. Is that water for sponge baths?
Just a simple way to keep a guest from dozing off. Temperature shock makes caffeine look like a sleep aid.
This coming after your claim that you don't know if Sousuke was tortured.
Hey,
know
she
when
knows
you-
how to torture. She knows how to torture. She can't confirm if he was.
You know what the other
Why
bucket's
are we
for then?
defending her?
I know you said you've got a weak sense of smell, but do you really need a hint here?
Ah.
That's the poop bucket!
But then this last bucket here is...
What is that? Trash?
Cloth and rope. Bindings.
Or bandages. See, they were nursing him back to health.
I'll run your theory past Sousuke next chance I get. This must be what's left of what they were keeping Sousuke tied up with.
They would have had to use something, yeah? This door doesn't even lock.
Not after I removed the bat barring it from the outside. So he was brought here, tied up, questioned. Then he breaks out, bursts into the room, cuts up two of his captors, and blows the other two away. That's what you think happened.
That's what it looks like.
And then what? Chopin runs in, turns his back on a violent criminal?
Don't strain yourself trying to make it sound improbable. Cops are dumb. If the Hound crouched in a corner, he'd have his chance soon enough. That's true. Lots of cops actually don't corner check. Hell, he probably just played dead. Walking into that scene out there, you'd think some patrol officer would go around checking pulses.
Why would my client go to all the trouble to get the jump on an officer? Why not just run away? Hell, why not ask him for medical treatment?
Because he was standing in the middle of the four men he just killed.
I know that Sousuke had no logical reason to attack Chopin, but so what? Even Sousuke himself says he would have been acting on instinct. Would instinct tell him that Chopin was in between him and his escape? Oh, wow, surprisingly little to investigate here.
To be fair, we got like 3 items in there for just a bucket.
True. Has all this blood been tested, Miss Han?
Enough of it has. Besides Sousuke, who else would it belong to?
That's a bit lazy, but it's not as if there's more here than the last time I visited. Sousuke really did lose a lot of blood. By the time he stumbled out of here, a stiff breeze would have been enough to knock him over. Is he really such a badass that he still managed to take out a police officer before it even noticed? It's not as if I feel nothing, looking at someone else's handiwork, the product of their violence. But it's like an artificial sweetener. No complaints, for that's the first for that first instant. Then after the aftertaste comes. Empty calories. I'll just be hungrier again later. Faster. Best to stay disciplined. Okay, so there's something in here I did miss. Oh, the torture implements. They were lower than I expected. Hypodermic needles. Probably not packing anything healthy. Sousuke better hope they were at least sanitized. I'm not sure Sarah can treat an infection with gauze and rubbing alcohol alone. But those needles there... The design of these needles seems a little odd.
Well, someone will tell you sooner or later, so... They're projectiles. Load into a gun and fire away.
Sousuke was captured by men wielding needle guns. Does Sayana Security have any peacekeeping tools they'd like to disclose as having recently gone missing?
You're cursing up the wrong pipe. Creek could find tools on his own, and we're not that kind of operation.
An operation where the right hand doesn't know what the left is doing?
More like the right hand's just been washed, so if you have to handle some garbage...
Sayana says that's legitimate? Why aren't all the Blue Bloods working legal jobs then?
Not enough positions available. You gotta earn like hell to be considered for a job on this side of the fence.
Creek and his pod weren't bringing in that kind of money.
They liked Creek's pod where it was.
Who's they?
Upper management.
That mask is a death sentence, crafted specially for one very special customer. I'm just the one given the honor of hanging on to it until... And did upper management like Creek?
I'm just a humble site manager, miss. I wouldn't know.
Sure. So do all these needles contain anesthetics?
No, there's also stimulants and barbiturine.
Like the truth serum?
You can get sued for selling it as such. It makes you talk. Doesn't make what you say the truth.
So they want Sousuke talking, but what did they ask him?
If your client can't remember or isn't willing to recall, there's really no one else alive who would know, yeah?
I'm getting a headache, but it's not from anything sensory. I should know more about this crime scene than anyone. Why can't I piece it together? If I can't piece it together, the cops will never trace any of this back to me, right? So why do I feel so ill at ease?
Okay. Thanks for your patience, ladies. Did I miss anything?
Nah.
Oh.
Would you have felt better if you had?
I'm gonna head out now, actually. I've got a long day tomorrow.
You're going back by yourself then? Are you sure? I could get you a ride out of the neighborhood.
I'm sure Miss Han here has already made sure that we'll both get out of here without any trouble. That is her company's area of expertise, isn't it?
Of course.
Well, at least let me walk you out.
Sure, why not?
Safe travels.
So, Detective, there's something you didn't want to talk about in front of the professional at Sinus Security.
Thanks for picking up on that.
Reyes will be upset that you never checked in.
Yeah, right after this I will.
This room, are we directly underneath the crime scene?
Yep, same fire escape right there.
Same type of window, too. Has this room been scanned into the arcs?
Yeah, but no one found anything noteworthy. Except Cyanus being sloppy.
So what are we actually doing when... so what were you actually doing when you left Han and I back there?
Something Han said earlier about how no true blue would wish harm on a creek. Her phrasing stood out to me.
Also just a random alchemy symbol just hovering behind, fucking, London back there.
Eh.
Because it implies the existence of false blue bloods.
Because it reminded me of one of the first things I learned in this city. There are no monoliths. Meg's, Orca's, City Hall, there are always factions. And among the Blue Bloods, party lines are especially visible. So I made a call, not to raise, to confirm some things.
And
I figure I owe you a little hint or two, considering the tone of the last message I delivered.
that message warned me not to broaden the scope of my investigation. Getting hints from you might be self-defeating.
Not these hints, trust me.
Oh, and according to Bubba, that's the alchemical symbol for brimstone.
It is!
Eh.
It's also commonly used in amongst the Satanic Church.
Ah, fair.
Neato.
So what faction did our pal Creek belong to?
The Youngbloods, opposite end of the compass from the Old Guard, the conservative Blue Blood leadership. All of them older than 70, some of them pushing higher than 90.
Jesus.
Han said Creek was too useful for anyone to want him dead, but my sources don't agree. Creek talked, said things aloud that others only whispered. Ambitious, charismatic, up and coming.
And young.
Could easily see him being very unpopular with all the wrong people in the Old Guard.
That's interesting info, Detective, but doesn't exactly flip this case on its head. I already know who killed Creek. The police have already decided Sousuke. Learning that he had some occupational hazard will hardly convince the jury otherwise. My client's the one standing accused, and everyone already knows why the Blue Bloods and Icaria would want to kill each other.
Do you?
They're rival gangs. They hate each other.
Do you know why? It's the same reason all the Blue Blood leadership is ancient, while all their muscle is made up of orphans and delinquents. 30 years ago, the Icaria betrayed their peace with the Blue Bloods, started killing them. And they didn't stop for days. By the end of it, every single member of the leading Blue Blood families under the age of 40 was dead.
Well, I can see how their kids would grow up to hate the Icaria, yeah.
You're not getting it, Tiger. Their kids didn't grow up at all.
If that's the case, how are the Blue Bloods still around?
For one thing, the Icaria had bigger fish to fry. This was right before the Red Decade. They spent every second of the next 10 years positioning themselves so they could come out of the other end as neobility. Second, what remained of the Blue Bloods found a new niche to fill. Taking in delinquents furious at the country driven off a cliff by adults before they can even get a chance to vote. Blue Bloods swelled their ranks to new heights by looking out for the little guys during those years, in exchange for favors down the line. Lastly, and most importantly, they survived because they still had hope.
You're serious?
I am. It's a powerful weapon.
Hope for what?
Hope that the Yucaria had missed one, that they'd fled the country. Hope that a promised heir would grow and return one day, a triumphant little lord with overflowing riches and overwhelming power.
Sounds like a fairy tale.
Those endure for a reason. Well, now you know. A warning to watch where you step isn't exactly worth much if you're fumbling around in the dark.
Fairy tales and warnings.
What's up?
Oh, right, the Huntsman, too.
We'll start with that. Hey, did you or your pals in OC ever hear about some kind of blue blood hunter?
Like a bounty hunter?
Or a huntsman, maybe?
Where'd you hear that?
Sousuke thinks he might have overheard talk of something like that while he was in captivity. Does it mean anything?
Nope.
I don't like the hesitation there, Detective.
Yeah, I'm calling bullshit.
Just an urban legend.
What do you know, old man?
I would have said the same thing about Unlisted before this afternoon, and yet...
Fair enough. If you see a huntsman and live to tell the tale, I'll buy you as many lotto tickets as you want.
Hey, you ever pay attention to any of this graffiti down here? Scrawling about Lobo and the cyberpunk and...
HBK increasingly.
I haven't seen that myself. Was gonna say Red Hood.
Are you asking? Feel a chill down your spine? Bah. Except for HBK, that's all old news. Ghost stories and campfire tales.
There's a lot of campsites around here.
Lots of places to start fires. But Red Hood, hadn't heard that in who knows how long. It's one of the oldest. Rough story.
It's based on a real event.
Nothing worth recounting.
I'll take your word for it.
But what's gotten into you that you're feeling all superstitious? Guilty conscience?
You mean about working with the Mafia? A psychologist would call that projecting.
Ouch.
Too far?
Nah. Didn't feel a thing.
I don't know why I asked, really. Guess I just had an odd feeling all day.
Like deja vu? You've been here before? Are in the streets? And I know it's my time to go? Calling you. Okay, I'm done.
No, you're fine. I'm more surprised that actually wasn't at least part of the dialogue.
You're right.
No, I hate that feeling.
Oh man, Morgan doesn't like Eurovision.
Damn.
It's whatever the opposite of that would be.
Eurobeat, that's the word I meant. Blah.
I mean both. She probably hates both. Something something utopian politics something something.
Yeah.
Yeah. The unnerving certainty that you're in uncharted waters. Scary stuff.
Icaria, Blue Bloods, Megs, Orcas, dirty cops and criminal informants, and also smooth techno jazz. Lines drawn back and forth across a battlefield like a spider suspension bridge. Dizzying in its complexity, frail along any given strand. But one wrong move and you're completely ensnared. Priorities. The Icaria don't care about who tore through Creek's gang, but they would prefer Sousuke doesn't spend life in prison for killing a cop. The Blue Bloods want to tear Sousuke's throat out, but if Han's taken at her word, they're settling for 5 counts of murder. Can I take Han at her word? Is she a young blood like Creek, or is she with the old guard? Could I have asked London that? If I had, could I have trusted his answer? Because it turns out, Cassine London is much, much harder to read than I anticipated. And I can't even trust my client to act on his own self-interest. That man's a bodyguard by trade and a zealot for his own house. The trial starts tomorrow. Do I still need more information? Is there time to find it? No, what I need right now is a nightcap. If I can't fall asleep, then I'll know I'm in trouble. Until then, guess sleep will have to wait. It's unlocked. Oh?
I'll take this one since Sarah's has been doing most of the voice work today.
Okay.
Pardon me for dropping in at such a late hour, Counselor Morgan.
She walked into my office. Sorry, no. Wrong noir.
Well, it's at the bottom if you need to read it.
Yeah, I saw. Standing there in my doorway, she cut through the light like a blade of spilt ink. But twice as sharp and not nearly as familiar. It is outside of a normal... It is outside of normal consultation hours, miss.
It's all black and white, too. It literally is no white
Yeah.
now.
Yep. It's so good.
She presses her lips. Like lily petals shying away from the moonlight. What's a smirk by any other name?
Please, call me Mire.
Any last name, Mire? The question floats in the air, like curling cigarette smoke. Speaking of which... I could tell she was used to the smell.
I'll leave that up to your imagination.
Self-assured and unapologetic, the unspoken family name loud as a signature. Written in blood. You're from House Icaria.
Might I step inside?
She blinks. Her head turns a millimeter. A forked tongue testing the temperature of the air. She wasn't asking for permission. Just you? What about your friends in the hallway? She raises an eyebrow but keeps staring at the floor. She's surprised at my perception of the unseen threat, but not quite impressed.
I don't think they need to join us. Do you?
She was the kind of woman to make you remember. Smoking could kill.
Yeah.
Oh,
How
the
can I be
color
obs-
fading back in.
Ah, well, they also didn't want to give away her color scheme is completely just fucking Makoto.
Oh, I love the like her cigarette smoke takes like a fur rim for like she is wearing like a bigger coat.
Mm-hmm.
How can I be of service, Mire?
You're already being quite accommodating, both to me and my family's interests. I came here tonight to be of service to you. I understand that you're somewhat new to this underworld of ours.
I'm grateful for the offer, Mire. But inexperienced as I am, I've gathered that the House Ikaria didn't come into its fortune by being generous.
Get him.
Would you like to know how House Icaria did come into its fortune?
Not
Yeah,
until you
what's
pay
the
me, so
price?
you... Yeah, I was about to say, not until you pay me so we have client confidentiality so you don't kill me. I know you operate a lending corporation with a significantly diversified portfolio.
Yes, the good old IFG, the public face of the Icaria criminal empire, clean-shaven as it's become. And
I know you founded a pharmaceutical company and profited immensely when it went public.
and before that,
I know your family name became nobility during the year of civil unrest. No doubt by being well positioned when the time came to reprivatize our nation's industries.
yes. And before that,
I know you slaughtered the Blue Bloods 30 years ago.
very good, Counselor Morgan.
I love that face where I could just deadpan for Morgan.
You've acclimated to our waters remarkably fast.
What I don't know is why Makoto Ikaria has been the target of multiple kidnapping attempts over the past year.
You can't fathom a guess as to why the Blue Bloods might want to ransom the family's heir?
That's the only guess I can make. It strikes me as shallow. Nothing more dangerous than waters you don't know the depth of.
As you said, 30 years ago, the Icaria cartel, an unrecognizable band of brutes and drug smugglers compared to today, massacred the respectable Blue Bloods and left their geriatric leadership to die on the vine. But we thrust the knife much deeper than that.
You went after the heirs.
And their entire future. Are you familiar with genetic factor authentication?
Using DNA as a password.
Blood, specifically, easier than memorizing a string of 3 billion characters long.
But the GFA's fallen out of favor, hasn't it?
The Blue Bloods made ample use of it back then.
Well, it is on brand. A bad bet.
They already had all their offshore accounts, business titles, property deeds. The Blue Bloods thought they had already won, that they were establishing a dynasty. So as they made their political marriages, they bound their allegiances and fortunes in literal blood. GFA was both a financial and symbolic laundering of the Blue Bloods' past. Their children, now married, clean-cut and perfectly respectable, would prosper alongside wealth no longer tainted by ill-gotten gains. So the GFA registry became the Icaria's checklist. We went through and crossed out anyone that could have accessed those funds. Now all of it sits untouchable overseas in encrypted digital warehouses in some of the oldest, most austere banks in the world, collecting interest that will never be claimed. Does that answer your question as to why they target Makoto?
No, and you know it doesn't. Because if they thought they could lock you out of your coffers by killing Makoto, they wouldn't be trying to take him alive.
You're paying attention. I like that. We don't use GFA, and Makoto is the heir to the House Ikaria, to the Ikaria Financial Group. He'd never be tied to our legitimate banking information.
Why not? What if he wants to buy a lollipop?
A lollipop would be provided for him. The family's black market proceeds and its white market holdings must never mix.
You divide your house right down the middle, pardon the expression, but how can you stand?
Atop the backs of many.
And you all take this division that seriously?
Deadly seriously. This is our family's rule dating back
I did the
centuries.
thing!
Either you serve the house or you serve its interests, never both.
So you're assigned to either the criminal organization, what's registered in the IFG, or to managing the family's legitimate business holdings, like Renegin. But that means you
Are nearly as much of an outsider to the Ikaria Financial Group as you are.
nearly is doing a lot of work there. Who do you answer to then? Who controls Ikaria's legitimate empire?
Until Makoto marries his mother.
I take it Makoto isn't solely responsible for the house's affairs at his age.
Makoto wields great authority as the heir, but yes, the house is led by his father Raphael, and more directly by his grandfather. Our patriarch Daisuke Ikaria.
I see. But that puts me back to where I started. The Blue Bloods want to hold Makoto hostage to gain leverage on the likes of Daisuke.
How can I put this? Had things gone even slightly different 30 years ago, the Blue Bloods would be the ones shaking hands with politicians, marrying ambassadors, and sitting in boardrooms. Some of them believe it can still be so, if the right match were made.
They want to marry into the House Ikaria. But Makoto's... and all the real Blue Bloods are older than...
They'd find an age-appropriate adoption. You're missing the point. They need Makoto alive and well to negotiate that kind of reversal of fortune.
So they've been trying to capture him for the past year. But every Blue Blood I met today seemed to care a lot more about getting revenge for their dead men than kidnapping a preteen.
How many of them do you think Sousuke's cut down in the last year he spent repelling their attempts?
Is that a source of internal conflict? If the old guard are throwing young bloods into an Ikaria shredder in mass trying to capture Makoto just to elevate themselves? I suppose that all might total up to enough motivation for them to torture Sousuke, yeah.
I had heard Sousuke was wounded. No one informed me that he had been tortured.
You know him, I take it.
As you've gathered, Sousuke deals in matters unrelated to my side of the family. But he is still family. Speaking of my side, I have a duty as a representative of my wing of the house to stress that we do not want this trial to be prolonged.
So the bean counters don't take care for the extra attention. That makes sense. Do you care about the outcome?
A win is always preferable.
But not a necessity. Makoto Ikaria hired me to prove Sousuke's innocence. If he's the one signing the checks...
Did he say why he hired you? He hired you for 2 reasons. Reason 1, his options are limited, more limited than he suggested, no doubt, to keep a strong front. The entire house is currently being audited by the state. Our usual legion of lawyers and accountants are already billing hours as fast as they can, so he wouldn't have his pick of the litter.
So one half of the family can't talk business at the dinner table with the other half, but you share a pool of lawyers.
Lawyers can be trusted to be discreet, can they not?
Yeah, we can read between the lines.
So then you'll understand reason 2. Whatever lawyer he did find through the Akaria's usual connections would, like me, do whatever's best for the house as a whole.
And not what's best for Sousuke.
I'll make an amendment. 3 reasons. Makoto knew that if he didn't assign him any lawyer, Sousuke would just stay silent as the state dragged him off to be chained. Rather than inconvenience the house any further.
Well, yeah. I've known Sousuke for less than a day, and even I can tell he's never seen a cross he wouldn't jump at the opportunity to bear. I'm gonna steal that. That's a good line. That explains why Makoto would hire someone without connections to the Ikaria. You slow rolling another addendum that'll clear up why on earth my name came across his desk. Littered with crayons and times tables, as I'm sure it is.
I hope I've been able to elucidate matters for you, Counselor Morgan.
Masterfully subtle way to say, we're done talking.
Now I might ask you a small favor in return. Pass this message to Sousuke. If you see a way out, take it.
Do you understand what you're asking him to do? Even if Sousuke took a plea bargain, even if I somehow got the other charges reduced to manslaughter, self-defense, the state thinks he killed a cop.
The message is for Sousuke, not you. Your interpretation of it is irrelevant.
End of conversation. As she reaches the exit, she turns back to look at me, lingering in the doorway like the warm buzz of a strong, dark cocktail.
But your assessment is correct. If this were just 4 dead blue bloods, our dim little underworld could balance out the ledger unassisted. If that cop hadn't shown up last night...
Do you know something about the late Officer Chopin?
City in mourning after death of City Councilman's beloved adopted son in the line of duty. All I know is that his funeral dirge would make those 4 boys' deaths sound like a disinterested sigh. By the way, I must admit you have a lovely apartment, Counselor.
Changing subject as subtly as a bullet train hopping in its tracks.
Quite spacious for a defense attorney.
Yeah, place wouldn't sell after the tram route got diverted. I negotiated down the rent and then installed all the soundproofing myself.
Can't open the windows without being treated to the sounds of the city, then?
There's always a cost.
That's one mystery solved then, isn't it? Enjoy the rest of your quiet evening, Counselor.
The door glides so closed behind her, easy as a question left unasked. I'm left here hanging on a single held breath of stillness, listening as the deafened thud of her honor guard's implied violence stomps down the hallway behind her. I still leaned back in my chair, staring holes into my ceiling long after the scent of her expensive tobacco had faded into null. Savoring it while it lasted was beyond me at the moment. My attention's elsewhere. This case is knotted and twisted like a gnarled oak. Just when I think I've found my rhythm, the blade runs dull. Carving is an exercise in patience and vision. You need to start with a clear picture of what you want. I want some answers. But for now, I'll sleep. Tomorrow in court, I'll just have to keep whittling away at the wood until I fashion something halfway usable. And well, if that doesn't work, I'll use a chainsaw.
Man.
What a line.
That seems like a good
What?
stopping point.
Yeah. Gives me a chance to save. Oh, yes,
Whoop,
not
missed it.
settings. Do.
It's the, nope. Save
There
is
it is.
right next to evidence.
Alright, if you guys want to tell people where they can find you while I find someone for us to raid.
You can find me at Twitch and YouTube, Twitter, Blue Sky, all at Zakoduo. I'm still doing my daily Gundam videos on the card game. I'm planning on doing something here soon, eventually, I promise. Just things have been not going my way for a long while, so hopefully I can break this stupor. But yeah, that's me.
You can find me all over the internet at Tixdixl. You can actually catch us here on Twitch at my channel in about an hour, where we're going to be continuing with our next session of The Lost and the Found. If you're interested in some whimsical D&D, please stop by. Love to have you there. As for everything else, this coming week is largely going to be a hiatus week. I am going to be out of town, and thus I will not be streaming. But in about 2 weeks' time, you should see our regularly scheduled everything pick back up. And that's me.
And hi, Valriff, I'm here at twitch.tv/BurnoutVaughn. You can find me on Blue Sky on YouTube at Burnout Vaughn, over on Patreon at Burnout Spar. This is also going to be a pretty slow week. You might see me on Monday on using Thalia's channel. Nothing for tomorrow. Some schedules did not align. Possibly we might be running suits while Those Who Wander has our break, but we are still figuring that out. But aside from that, be sure to look out for the next up-and-coming installment of A Student's Detour Through Baldur's Gate, where our Saved by the Spell crew goes through Baldur's Gate 3. We have made some mistakes and some enemies.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
some murders.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with that out of the way, let's go rate a newer, more recent, somewhat friend of the channel, one Guys Ghost Paws, as well as Key Inc., who are currently doing...
Yeah.
I believe they're doing Fatal Frame. Let me double check. Yes, they are. They're doing the new remaster of Fatal Frame 2. Yeah, what should our raid message be?
Shit.
We could do something related to what they're doing. We could say, "Look out, there's ghosts." Oh, picture this is very good. Bubba has.
Yeah, we could do that.
Perfect. Yep. All right, picture this. Thank you all for coming out. We will see you again in 2 weeks' time. Thank you. We love you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Boy.